Hey everyone, welcome to Accelerators or welcome to Accelerators. This is Jeff Bruno from B Modeler. I hope everybody's doing well. It is Friday, 6:14 at 3 o'clock, and you are actually the last thing I am doing today, or very close to the last thing I'm doing, besides a couple quick calls before I plan on our trip with my family. Very excited. We're going to go to Europe for about 10 days, 12 days. So kids are out of school and we're going. I hope everybody has some kind of plan coming up. Get a little break from all the hectic things going on. It is a lot. Us small business owners, we always slam ourselves with too much work and not enough time to enjoy things outside. So please take some time. And I found that when I take a few breaks here or there, my mind actually gets very clear and I get much more efficient, and I actually add a lot of good thought process to the business that I run. So brief update, we are launching our software. We've made a huge pivot in my business model from a service business to a product business. So I just wanted to say to the group here, it's hard to do that, especially going from a service business to a product business. Oh my God. But we're very excited to be end of July launching our SaaS product software. And I'm going to talk to Sean, but I think some of you might be intrigued by this, maybe being a tester here or there for no cost. See if it could help you with your business. We're looking for some testers. So that's great. If you're interested, I'll get with Sean. But we are super excited, and it's taken us 2.5 years to get here. So it's never easy. All right. Well, let's jump into some of the questions, see if I can help some people out. Erica Stokes says, how do you balance work life with business life when your energy is low? Right now, I'm in this time management, energy management battle. I've been playing with my schedule because I drive Uber overnight to take care of bills. When I get home, my energy is low. And I try to power through to do business work, but become easily distracted because I'm mentally drained, as well as physically drained because I've been up all day. I find it hard to balance my energy so I can perform even when I'm tired. So, Erica, not too dissimilar from what I just said at the beginning of this. You need to have downtime to focus effectively on a business model. I understand that I'm sure you're using Uber, as you mentioned, to pay the bills while you're building this business up. And that is absolutely something you're going to have to do. So I can tell you right now, in reference to what we're doing, as we're building this product out, we still have called them grandfather clients, or even clients in our newer model, but all service-based clients that me and my partner are still keeping, even though it's very distracting and time-consuming, probably about 30 to 40% of our time, at least, to manage those. But we have to keep our income up, or we can't afford anything. So I understand that push and pull. It's extremely hard, and it's not easy to get out from under that. So I don't think that I have some magic pill for you that can do it. All I would say is try to be as effective and efficient with your time and your resources as you can. So if there's a way that you can, bill more per hour in your business model, and you can find a way to get a little more time in that so that you're valuing yourself more and you're getting more return on your time than Uber driving, try to figure out how to position that to change the percentage of your time on those things so that you can then use that to pay your bills, and ultimately you're helping build the business. Because that is a hard thing to manage when you just simply need the money to pay your bills. Next question is from Ricardo Delgado. Ricardo says, how do you create a badass culture in your business? I want to know more about building company culture. I notice huge companies like McDonald's or Target have a company culture. What has made your company culture successful? What was the factor that attracts more of the right people and clients? So, Ricardo, company culture is critical. However, I've said this before. If you don't have a good process, a clear process in your business, and I don't mean a complicated process, I mean a simple process in your business model that is very understandable by all the people who come to work for you, forget about culture. It doesn't matter. And I mean that. Your process has to be clear, concise, effective, and easily controllable by the downstream teams who work under you. So call it standard operating procedures, call it something. Do not make it complicated and make them almost report up to you. Hey, I hit these metrics, I hit these things. As long as it's clear and they're empowered by running their own construct and they know what they need to do. That is the biggest thing in having your culture set up the right way. If you don't do that, then what happens is there's a lot of like, whoop, I thought that, she thought that, he thought that. Everybody thinks somebody's doing something wrong or not the right way, and then culture gets disrupted, even if you're trying to make a good culture. So that's your most important thing. And then, of course, have some fun. You know, send some fun videos out on social media between your teams. You know, have a happy hour. Do those normal things that keep camaraderie going as you can. But the key is having the right process. Second question from Ricardo. How important is personal development and professional development in a company's growth? I've personally been involved with more personal development, and I've noticed a huge impact on my personal growth. I know there are many successful entrepreneurs that answer this, so I want to know if there's an actual factor that played in the role in their achievements. So yes, Ricardo, I think it is important. I had a coach, an executive coach, that helped me for 18 months transform my leadership abilities from poor. I would say if I were to rank them, I was probably a 5 or 6 before, and he got me to about an 8.5 on leadership. Nobody's ever a 10 on leadership, by the way. It's impossible. But I got to about an 8.5. And I think that that's personal development. Professional development is okay if you have the time. And what I mean by that is we always need to be continual learners. So if you're not continually learning, that's what I would classify as professional development. Then you're not going to help your team and you're not going to help yourself. But that doesn't mean take some course or go to school, or that might be too time consuming for you. I mean just simply picking up a good book that's related to your industry, or reading some new things on technology that you can implement. I mean, that's professional development on your own and being a learner. That's the best way to do it. And of course, get some coaching on the personal side if you need it, like I did. I think that's hugely beneficial. Next question is from Rohit Gupta. What is the fastest, easiest thing I could do to grow my business from the stage I am in today? I am currently doing 50K in sales year to date, and I have me and my brother on my team. My current way of driving new business revenue is out of physical storefront and online in 2024. I'd like to grow my business to 100K by the end of the year. What are some immediate things you could recommend? I'm not a marketing or sales guy, Rohit, so I'm not too sure how I can add value here, but I would say that make sure you put together a plan that incorporates what you and your brother are doing and who's doing what, to see if you can actually get to that 100K mark and not disrupt each other and be able to bring in the constant sales to stay on that 100K mark. That's important if you're doing it from your own network or whatever the process is to bring in those sales. And if you're going with online sales, I would ask one of Sean's buddies here who know online marketing and how many dollars you want to put on that. But I can tell you that online marketing is pretty tricky when you're a very small business because you don't have a broad reach. So it's really tricky to decide on your spend scenario. But it also depends on your gross margin, on what your sales are. A lot of different factors there. So it's hard for me to comment on that unless I had more information. So I would say just make sure that you and your brother can still network and bring in enough business while you're doing the work. So our last question of the day is from Ricardo Delgado again. He says, how do you partner with people in business? I'm potentially interested in getting into other businesses and partnering eventually. How does someone considering partnering with people in business? So I'll just give you a personal example, Ricardo. I think it's a lot of times it comes from the people that work with you. So my partner Julian, he started with me in late 2017. In January of 2022, I made him a full partner. Now, he fully understood where we were going in our pivot. That's when we started our pivot from a service to a moving towards a product business. We weren't thinking product yet, but we were changing our service model. And he was key for helping me do that. And I saw that in him. I saw how he developed. He understood my vision. He was able to translate that into a process that was completely effective. And I saw that he was a key piece in me being able to move to the next level in my business model. And I brought him on as a partner. Now there was negotiation around that and had to make sense for him and me, but it ended up making great sense for both of us. And I would call him a friend now as well, and he calls me that too. So I think a partner is someone who understands your vision, is not some outsider who just comes in and tries to run the show, and you have to be extremely synergistic. So you have to have enough differences in the way you approach things, but the analytical ability to understand each other's added scenario and be able to understand what everybody's bringing to the table is what I essentially mean. So how do you start that conversation? I think it really, you just have to evaluate people and see if they understand where you want to take your business and how they can help you do that. So great, everybody. That's it. I know a few people are watching here, so if you had any other questions along, planning strategy, how to look at the value versus non-value pieces of your business model and where you're supposed to focus, that's what we do. We help companies do that. We're building a product that does that specifically for businesses, gives them permission to focus on what matters. I think that's most important in our world today because a lot of small business owners, they get distracted by things and don't even realize that they're non-valuable adds to their business model. And make sure you focus there. It's really, really important. All right, everyone. Have a great few weeks, and see you next time.